video. Because I've heard so much about this little shop, we're gonna try the key lime pie from there this time down. Almost sunset. Pretty nice. Oh, and there's cruise strip. Following the beautiful. Blocking the sunset now. This is 24 hours from the last video. There are no sunset cruises and there is no Carnival Dream cruise line. Oh, we also upgraded our bike. But there might even actually be a storm, so who knows.
And
Karen has her lighter. Awesome.
yes.
Karen is my sister, in case you do not know. So hopefully we'll get a sunset, because yesterday we left early and by the time we got to her house, it rained. So, and it stormed. Like wicked storm. So we'll see what happens. We could have a storm. Yikes. Yeah, like all those boats that we're taking a picture of right now are usually out in the bay, sailing around with their sunset cruise, booze cruise, / whatever. But this is probably the first sunset I've seen in Key West that doesn't have a sailboat in front of it. Neato. Scary clouds.
play the trombone. And that was a pretty weird thing for a rich lady to do in the 1900s. But whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever toots your horn. So she would hang out here in the front yard, play that trombone, and it would just echo throughout the streets of Key West. There was no noise pollution in those days, so you could hear her everywhere. And then she'd get all the way up top on that Widow's Walk. And from there, you could hear her on the entire island. If you're on a boat coming in or out of that harbor just a couple blocks away from here, and the wind is blowing just right, you might even be able to hear that trombone wafting out to sea before you can even make it into port. And her husband was a sailor. He loved it. He thought it was incredible. He'd be almost home and he could hear his wife calling out to him. What a great feeling. And then, of course, the neighbors, they hated it. They thought it was incredibly obnoxious. There she goes again with that damn trombone. There's no noise pollution, and she's waking up the whole neighborhood. So, we're told they tried to reason with her numerous times to no avail, and in 1910, Petunia died. And according to her death certificate, it says cause of death unknown. Interesting. We'll also say her obituary doesn't say anything about how she died. Very interesting. So what exactly happened here? Well, they say she got up there particularly early one morning in 1910. Her, she gets up there particularly early one morning because her husband's supposed to be coming into port at daybreak. And she knows it. She gets up there, she's searching, she sees his sails coming into port, and she grabs that trombone as the sun is still rising. She starts playing. And we don't know what she was playing, but apparently those neighbors had it. And somebody grabbed a gun. And we're told they weren't trying to hurt her, they weren't trying to kill her, they're just trying to scare her a little bit, startle her, make her think twice before she got back up there and woke up the whole damn neighborhood. They grabbed that gun and they shot in her general direction. And it startled her all right. And in those days, the banister wasn't much of a banister at all. It's more of a decorative trim, maybe a foot off the ground at most. Trip hazard more than anything. She trips, bounces off of that roof, and she falls to her death below. And unfortunately for Petunia, that lovely second floor balcony was not there to catch her fall. She fell all the way to the ground to her death. Now, of course, like I said, a local legend for years. It wasn't until they turned this place into a hotel that they started seeing and hearing and get some photos if you'd like. If you don't get those orbs, maybe you might actually get a full-on person falling from the sky, a woman standing up there, whatever it was, broken down. Standing up there, almost like a gargoyle. And others still will get a particular brass instrument in their photographs falling from the sky. This was in 1978. These gentlemen were sitting on either side of those double doors up there on the second floor. They are inside the house and they both have a dog on their lap. And one of those dogs is staring right at the camera. The other dog is staring right behind them. And if you look right in the middle there appears to be a particular brass instrument falling from the sky. One dog staring at the camera, another dog is looking right at it. This part's intriguing as well. I'm not for that in just a second. One dog staring at the camera, the other dog staring right here.
That's crazy.
Right? This right here is a fascinating part of it to me. Right above the trombone is another little figure here. I've shown this photo to thousands of people, and maybe 10 have said, hey, there's the angel of death. Most will say, oh, is that her? Is that her dress? And personally, I think the definitive part is the trombone. I can't really tell what's going on with that other little blob. But some people think it's her. Some people think it's a hooded figure. Either way, these gentlemen get home from their vacation, 1978. They get their film developed, and they say, I don't remember this. So they take the negatives back. They get it developed once again, and the same thing happens. So they sent a copy of the photo here. I said, hey, what's going on? I said, yeah, don't worry about that. Undeniably a beautiful home, a lovely no longer a museum, it used to be a museum. A lovely inn, if you get the chance to stay there. And if you're big fans of key lime pie, you can come back July 4th weekend. It's the Key Lime Festival every year. And they say that the kitchen in this home is the birthplace of modern key lime pie.
Hi, it's Bev. It's kind of a sad time. It's time for me to leave the island, Key West. Next things on the docket for next year. I mean, next time I come down to check out that museum. Robert the Doll was in there, so all is good. I'm gonna check that out. I'm at the airport, so I figured this would be a perfect time for that. But yeah, special thanks to Ted of Key West Ghost Hunting for taking us on that ghost tour and giving me permission to use his little trombone story. I appreciate that. And I want to remind you to like and subscribe to my videos. It really helps the channel. Most appreciated. And this is Bev signing off for Adventure Seeking and Legend Tripping. Today we didn't do any, well, we did one legend tripping. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.